It's Enrico Pallazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo!
Utah,
hey, what's up, everybody?
give me 2.
Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's, Britt Allen, MJ Govier. We are live. I am live in Colorado in some dingy dump, and Britton is where Britton always is, behind his beautiful artistry. What's up, my man?
Hey, I'm doing great. You're right. My art from Target, which is where you buy all your best art. I don't know if I don't know how you buy your art, but my art is by Target, and it's lovely shapes. My dog really likes to stare at it, so I like that very much. So, but you are in undisclosed location, but
I am.
You, for the people, by the people, you made it here today. Shout out to you, Michael Govier, under all kinds of circumstances. Here for us. Great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah. Been 9 days of intense times. So we don't need to focus on that. We are here to have good times and talk baseball. I'm going to do the best I can. I've been setting my lineups every day, Britton. I've been trying to pay attention like I can. You know, it's 1 week in, you know. Baseball started a week ago yesterday, so it's essentially a rock-solid week. What are your initial impressions on Friday, April 4th at this time?
Same old, same old. Some players are off to a hot start. Some players are off to a terrible start. And at the end of the day, it's all going to be fine. Now, here are a couple things that weren't in my bingo card, as they say. I hear a lot of people saying that these days. I don't know if that's a thing where you are like, well, that wasn't in my bingo card. Like,
I'm not hearing that, but it sounds good.
Was it a B, an I, an N, a G, or an O? Because if it was none of those things, it shouldn't have been in the card. Anyway, but Wilmer Flores off to a super hot start. Yep. I love that. Brendan Rodgers, the old second baseman from Colorado, isn't dead yet. So there's all kinds of weird, fun things going on. Unfortunately, if you wanted to do a little bit of news, our friend Freddie Freeman on the injured list. Oh, no.
Sorry, folks.
Yep, that's unfortunate. The ankle rears its head again. So had all off season. Yeah, man. Ankles are like backs. Don't get better with age. But
look, it wasn't the main reason I picked him to be a bust, but injury and age was a part of it. I didn't know he'd slip in the shower or whatever the hell happened, but it was part of the concern. He's 35 going on 36.
That's right. Shout out, Michael Govier. You did a preseason bus video on Freddie. Freeman said, watch out. He's getting up there. He I think wrote a check for his ankle to win the World Series, and now that check is bounced. But hey, he's going to be a World Series MVP for the rest of his life, so it's well worth it, right?
Yeah, and his kid's healthier now too, so we like Freddie Freeman. It's just This is a game. We're betting. This is really fantasy baseball is gambling. We all know it. I mean, we still love it, but we're not going to lie about what we're doing here, right? It's about money, and it's about winning and lording it over the people in your league. And Robbie's here. What's up, Robbie? He says, "What's up, lip chap and guy who can't stay still?" And by the way, Britton,
yes,
I never use balm. I never use chapstick, but it is so dry out here in Colorado. I can't believe I lost mine. I am so chapped. There it is. I'm going to join you, brother. Look at this.
Hey, man, you got
Look at that.
Hey, that's right. We moisturize on this show.
Yeah, I got to chap up right now, actually.
Yeah, no, please do. The amount of yapping we do, all the hot air that we generate from talking, you got to do something to offset that. So that's what. Hey, Burt's Bees. Hey, you want to be a sponsor? We're available. Come on.
Come with it. We're here for you.
It's a product I used before they were a sponsor.
Yeah, it's like that Wayne's World bit. Remember that? You know, it's really sad. People just do things for the money, and that's just sad. Well, he's got a giant Reebok outfit on, or the Nuprin bit. I can't take it anymore. I'm getting a headache.
Yeah, he's like drinking a Mellow Yellow or something.
What's up, boys? Mike V in the house. Hey, brother, have a good time. Enjoy your weekend. Mike's having fun in Maryland, I believe. And
he's eating
Robbie
beignets,
says, "Oh,
living
right,
life.
That's
Carpe
right.
diem."
I'm going to go live in La Vida Loca. Put a little Latin flavor on it for you. How about that?
All right.
Robbie says Soroka is out. Brad Lord might take his spot. Are you NFBCers interested? Just curious. Well, you're the NFBCer for sure. I mean, the most leagues, Britain, on this show. So go ahead.
I do play in some NFBC leagues, but most of them are draft and hold leagues where Brad Lord is nowhere near, 750. But I don't know. I wouldn't touch a Soroka replacement, even in a very, very deep league, because if you want to take a shot, I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. What do you know anything about Brad Lord of the? There's got to be something good. Lord of the fastballs. No?
I don't know shit. I'm already I'm admitting this is one of the more limited knowledge shows I'll ever do, frankly, because I've been so locked up. But yeah, I don't know shit about Brad Lord. I'm just gonna say that right out in front.
I know you got Robbie, like the king of prospects, breaking out, the Brad Lords of the world. So we're slightly at a disadvantage. But yeah, he's in the rotation now with Soroka out. Poor Soroka, Mike Soroka. And see,
I didn't want it. Yep.
Yeah. This is why Robbie's into it, because Soroka's Canadian too. So that you got to watch out for the Canadian boys. You never know.
There it is, Big Dog Britain. What's up, gang? Geo the GOAT. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Wow. Being called the GOAT this early in the show, I don't know if I'll be able to top that one. It's like Britain's show last week. Somebody said he was all right early on in the show, and then they said he was like a legend at the end.
That's true. That's fact. Somebody said that guy's all right. I was like, whoa. What?
I'm taking it.
Yes. I take that as a great sign. I appreciate you.
What's up, Pigtown Sports? Shout out Baltimore. Actually, Pigtown, I've been watching a bunch of the Wire clips on YouTube lately. Like, not the whole shows. I'm just watching. I actually started the video. Somebody compiled every murder on the whole series. So it's like an hour long of every. That's a lot in the Wire, in case you've never seen that show.
That's a great show.
Yui.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. That show, it just gets better every year. It's more poignant and it doesn't go, that's dated. No, it's the opposite. It still is really good.
Have you looked up any shows when I was growing up? I used to watch Northern Exposure. I don't know if you've ever heard of that show.
I remember that. That's like the harmonica theme song, of course. That girl was right. That girl with short hair. She was beautiful. I don't remember her name.
That was the actress's name is Janine Turner. The character's name was Maggie O'Connell. She was my first crush. I was probably 13 when that show was coming on. Yeah, shout out Maggie O'Connell. But anyway, so it's on Hulu or Netflix, and I was watching it, and I didn't realize this until just recently. David Chase was an executive producer on that show. Obviously, the David Chase that went on to do The Sopranos.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow,
I thought that was wild.
Britain is not just here to talk about Michael Toglia or beignets or whatever everything else Britain's known.
But I do love to talk about those things. But also a random TV show from the 90s.
Uwe says, sup, fellas? Got Will Contreras, Arias, Bogarts, Sal Perez, Santander, and Berger. That's a lot. Should I be worried about any of them? No, I don't even care. I'm not going to repeat the names. Don't be worried about any of these guys. If these guys are all Britain, like you said last week, these are all guys that were drafted in the first 10 to 12 rounds. We're not dropping any of those guys, most likely.
Nope. Hang on to each one of those, except Bogarts. You can drop him. That dude sucks.
No way. What is that? Well, you got something against Bogarts? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you got me on that one.
Cooked.
No way.
I would literally drop Bogarts for Otto Lopez. I would 100% do that.
Oh, I would not.
See you never.
I don't know that much.
I'd be like, Bogarts, you were 2020 once when you played for the Red Sox. That was like 9 years ago. Like, who cares?
Oh, I see what this is. So this is more of a long-term disappointment. Okay, that's fair. He was hot second half of last year after he came back from injury. He's stolen 3 bases already in the first week, so that's something. If he could steal, that is nice. If he could steal you 20 bases this year and hit 20, 25 home runs, it's something worth it. But I like that you're bitter going back like 10 years. I love it.
Yeah. No, you listen to Govier. Don't listen to me. You hang on to all those players. Those are veterans. Those are established veterans. Don't drop any of those for Jake Mangum Don't drop any of those for Wilmer Flores. Maybe Ben Rice, who we should probably talk about.
Let's absolutely do that. Go ahead.
Ben Rice is a lefty bat for the New York Yankees, first base eligible, also DH. He bats leadoff, against righties. So just imagine that. You're batting leadoff. You're a New York Yankee. You look down the bench. You do your eyes like they do in the cartoons. You go, you're like, wait a minute. Who's that big guy? Oh, that's Aaron Judge. And who's that other guy with the cool hair? Oh, that's Jazz Chisholm. And you're just looking like, so I guess I'll just go ahead and bat in front of these guys and see how that goes. It's going to go great. That's how it's going to go, because the Yankees are off to a super hot start. I believe Aaron Judge hit his 6th home run today.
Wow.
Which is absolutely wild.
Wow, dude.
I can't believe it. Aaron Judge is off to this super hot start. Like, he's kind of like, move over, Lou Gehrig. I'm coming through.
5
Aaron
home
Judge, man.
Yeah, did he hit number 6? He's got 5 on the stat page today. But yeah, he's on fire.
I think he hit one a couple minutes ago. But
jeez, what about these torpedo bats? Because people are going to keep bringing them up, and I'd rather not talk about them all show. So, I mean, at this point for me, how can we have something just show up like this? How can we have nobody's talking about torpedo bats? We got spring training, we got all this coverage, and then suddenly opening day, now we're talking about them, and now Yahoo has labels on the player pages for torpedo bats. I'm just going to let it pass for now. I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to get caught up in it, but that's my take.
Yeah, much ado about nothing. I think it's kind of like, does it help a little, with like a fringy guy like Volpe? Like, probably. But I think most of it is kind of, like a placebo effect. Like, if you take 10 people that are sick and you give them all a sugar pill, but you get a doctor that says this is a miracle cure. It comes from Sweden. It's 100% going to cure you. People, the mind is a beautiful thing, as they say. Shout out Cameron, not Cameron Crowe, Russell Crowe. The mind is a beautiful thing. You name this bat, torpedo bat, and you think you're going to hit better, and guess what? You hit better. I'm sure there's an effect to, the balance of it and everything, but is it that big a deal? No. Aaron Judge doesn't use a torpedo bat. Whatever. Like, lots of players use torpedo bats, but it's kind of like fringy players that, don't hit that many home runs either. But genius. If you think Govier, if you think it works and it works, what's the difference?
We got to lock that in for sure, because that is some outstanding wisdom here at Pallazzo Podcast. 2 L's, 2 Z's. Michael Govier back down here live.
If you think it's the streak because you're having sex or not having sex, or because you're wearing the shoes or you're not wearing the shoes, then that's what it is.
We need more Crash Davis on this show. In fact, I feel like Bull Durham is underrepresented on this show, and it's one of the best baseball movies there ever was. And to this day, that wisdom still, baseball players are still like that. They're a superstitious bunch.
Is that your favorite?
It might be. Movie? It's definitely top 2 for sure. If I like that one more than The Natural. I like it more than Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is sentimental, but yeah, I think it's my favorite. Major League and Bull Durham.
Major League is great, but that's a totally different movie. That's a comedy. That's not really a baseball. I mean, yeah, it's about a baseball team, kind of.
Well, Bull Durham's a comedy, but it's also like it's got wisdom, and it's about like
there's baseball. There's a lot more baseball stuff in that than Major League.
There is. Yeah, no, you're right about that. I would agree with that. I'm going to lock that in too. Okay, so yeah, Mr. Rice. I'm all about Ben Rice. I wish I got more shares during draft season. I was like, dude, this is a guy who's a sneaky bat. He's got on sub Mendoza 200 batting average for the season last year. So people see that and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to get on board with that this year. But it's about growth. It's about what you're going to do next. And Ben Rice has 30 home runs in his bat. So I wish I had more shares. I do.
It's not too late. If you can pick him up, go pick him up. I really like him a lot. Of course, the team context couldn't be better. And you remember Ben Rice, like, was it a year ago? Maybe 2 years, but at least maybe a year ago. He started out super hot. Everybody spent all the monies, and then he flamed out.
Yep.
It was the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. Like, here he is doing it again, right?
He had 3 home runs in that one game. Yeah, I remember that.
Scarred but smarter. I mean, we'll see. Maybe
Why shaking me off?
Maybe. I think he will. I think because that lineup, too, and the situation, he's just going to be better, too, because he's going to grow as a player. All of it signs point positive for Ben Rice. It's just a matter of platoon situations. What kind of format? Are you head-to-head? Are you looking for volume? Are you looking for streaks? I think Ben Rice is a guaranteed head-to-head for sure. And then depending on how deep your league is in Roto. Can
I make a prediction for the Yankees?
I hate
to be negative Nancy, but don't you just see a scenario where they have a super hot month and then Giancarlo Stanton comes back and takes the DH spot away from Ben Rice or somebody, and then the team tanks for 2 months? I mean, I'm not Nostradamus or anything, but can't you just see that happening? But they have to play Stanton because he's making $50 billion a year or whatever, and it just totally tanks the team.
I hope you're right. I would love to see the Yankees implode. I still don't like the Yankees. I never will. But I would rather see Stanton sit on the bench rest of the year. But you're probably right, because that's how it goes. It's the Yankees. They're trying to win a title, and they think the guy who's a veteran, if he can come back and be MVP form once upon a time, Stanton. But that's not who he is anymore. It's just not. So
he looked good in the playoffs. He got him to the World Series. So
he did. He did. That's true.
I get it.
Let's hit up. Look who we got here. Tayden Mongeli. Tayden Mongeli? What a great name. Tadon Mongeli, welcome to the show. Make sure you subscribe and like. We love having you here. We take super chats and super thanks. If you guys want to jump in the chat, we're here for you. Jordan Lawlar call up incoming. Now, Ketel Marte has pulled up lane with a hammy. We don't know how bad it is because this just happened.
Literally just happened.
Right. So let me pull up the 40-man roster, because I assume a lot of people would make this leap. Like, oh, yeah, it's got to be Jordan Lawlar, right? But it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. So if we look at the 40-man and infielders,
I'd rather pick up Geraldo Perdomo.
Oh,
yeah,
I love that call.
Batting him second.
I love it. That's a great call. I've got him in a few leagues. I got him in one of my New leagues. He's especially in OBP leagues. Perdomo, he draws walks. He's got good plate discipline. Doesn't have much power. He can hit for some average and draw walks and score some runs. But if he gets more time, I like that a lot. But I just don't think they're going to call up Jordan Lawlar right now. I mean, he's on the 40-man, though.
Yeah, I think it all depends on what's going on with Ketel Marte. So how many options does Jordan Lawlar have?
That's a great question.
Can you see that?
Thanks to Fangraphs always gives that to us.
They want to burn it. If it's a low key, I don't know if there's such a thing as a low key, low grade, low key. No, not the Archangel. Low grade hamstring, and if he's only going to be gone 10, 15 days, are you going to burn it? Are you going to burn an option with Jordan Lawlar?
Utah.
He's got 2 options.
Give me 2.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
They could give him a shot. But what about, we don't know the contract situations, Super 2, all this stuff. I'd have to know and look into that. So I can't say that it's going to be that easy for them just to call Lawlar up, because I don't believe, since he's not on the open day roster, they can't get a draft pick now. They can't. And that's part of the incentive now. So it doesn't mean they have to rush to bring Lawlar up. Love to see Lawlar. No guarantees that'll happen, though. Fantasy Sports is here. He's one of our regulars. What's up, my man? Any concerns about a slow start from PCA? Again, this is repetitive, but go ahead, Britton, say it again.
You can't, because PCA's out there hustling, bustling, looking good, I saw him make a great play in the outfield. Shout out Wrigley Field, a great place. It was their home opener today. It was really cold. No worries. And by the way,
it's freezing here.
It's snowing. I'm watching the Colorado Rockies are playing in snow currently.
Yeah, that's right. I drove past the stadium when I left the hospital today to come to this place to do the show, and I got a peek in there. I'm like, oh, what's the score? What's going on? But yeah, it's so cold out.
Yeah.
It's flurrying, and it's like 30 degrees. It is like Michigan here.
I don't know. That's not good for hitters, right? If it's cold,
that's
why. What they say?
Yeah, that's why I picked up. Believe it or not, tomorrow. I liked streamers because it's going to be cold again at Coors. I liked Herman Marquez and JP Sears. Believe it or not, Coors Field streamers. I know it sounds crazy, but even Coors Field can't always overcome the cold in April.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay, so yeah, don't worry about the slow starts. We're not worried about anybody that you drafted and believed in with the slow start, because it's only 1 week. 1 week, folks. You can jump on certain guys and drop the last guy on your bench, but you don't need to drop anybody that you committed real draft capital to, okay? Even Larry Butler, he'll be all right. Hopefully.
He got a stolen base today. I think he's getting going. Robles hadn't been that bad. Like, he hit a couple doubles the other day. What about Max Muncy? And I assume we're talking about Dodgers Muncy, not Athletics Muncy. I could be wrong, but
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
but
clarify now, guys.
Yeah, Max Muncy is going to go 0 for 30, and then he's going to hit 10 home runs the next month. And at the end of the year, it's going to be 27 home runs with a 225 average. You just got to ride it out.
Love it. Good call.
Because that's what he does every year.
He does. Skywalker says, who's the closer to own in Philly? Boy, I haven't kept track of this one as much, but is it Alvarado?
Alvarado looked he got the save, but he looked shaky. Like he got to like the last strikeout, and it was like, whew, because it was close. So it's Jordan Romano, Jose Alvarado. Kerkering is not a save guy, even though he's really good. So I would say Jordan Romano is still going to be in the mix. But yeah, man, when you see Jose Alvarado gas that 101 on the gun, whew, it's tough not to pencil him in. But
yeah, 10 Ks, Britton, 10 strikeouts to 2 walks so far in 4 innings for Alvarado. I'm going Alvarado just based on that alone.
Yeah.
Because Romano can't stand up. Romano, I just don't trust that elbow. I don't trust his health. I'd be surprised if he's able to be someone who gets you 20-plus saves this year. I just don't see that happening. So I could be proved wrong, but that's where I'm going with it.
Wrong!
Perdomo's owned. I jumped ahead of the curve, and I took Lawlar as a flyer. Sure, why not? If it's the last person on your bench, who gives a shit? We're down with that. You could take a flyer.
Totally down because, if it comes out tomorrow that Kettle Marte has a grade 2 hamstring strain and he's going to be shut down for 4 weeks, they're going to have to do something. So yeah, totally. I think smart getting ahead of the curve there.
Love it. Tayden also says getting in on Kumar. Well, Kumar's first start didn't go that well. Kumar Rocker. I avoided Kumar Rocker, and I was talked into Jack Leiter. If we're talking Rangers rookie starters, but I did not have any shares of Kumar Rocker. I wanted to wait and see on that, and I'm still a little skeptical of it.
Yeah, he did not look good. And if you watch the start, it actually looked worse than the final line was. So yeah, I'm off Rocker. Obviously, Leiter looks awesome though. I mean, I think when his last start, he had like 2 hits against him, looking good. Yeah.
Well, Rocker did bounce back with the second
into
start,
that.
So.
Yeah, whoever you talked to gave you some good advice. I was staying away from Leiter too. I don't know about you. I did. Sam
was trying to talk us into it on the Pallazzo text thread in the preseason. I was so out on Leiter, but I'm a little more up to Leiter now. And I think I got misconstrued here, Britton, because it says on this was last year's stats. Pitcher list screwed me. Yeah, so Kumar's only had that bogus start so far. I'm skeptical. You could take a flyer if you're desperate to try to win your head-to-head matchup this week because he pitches on Sunday, but I'm not really interested in Kumar Rocker.
Yeah, I watch out. I'd let him go. But, they brought up Jose Alvarado. There are some other closers. Camilo Doval is back in the picture. 2 straight saves, looking good, looking like himself from the other year.
I added him, Britton, in my main event on Sunday night. Last Sunday, I saw the 1 save. I don't necessarily trust Ryan Walker that much. I didn't
buying into this. Like, he's got a track record of being good, and the other closer is hurt. Like, this is a big deal.
I'm with you all the way.
And the Giants are 5-1. Like, they're winning games.
They've got a staff to give you saves, right?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's why I spent it was like $30 in Fab on a $1,000 budget last Sunday. I'm like, you know what? Doval has a history.
Out.
Yeah, that could work out. I thought
that could work out to 30 saves.
It might. I didn't draft Ryan Walker anywhere. So if that narrative, we love narratives on this show. Yes, we talk stats, but narratives are just as fun and useful at times. But I just did not buy into Walker this year. So if that narrative goes my way, then I'll have a benefit on saves.
It's not like Walker's established. I mean, yeah, he had a good season. But
he only got the job because Doval died. He fell apart last year.
Yeah,
so I'm with you.
I think that's a great pick. Also, Dennis Santana for Pittsburgh. It looks like he's the closer for Pittsburgh, whatever that's worth. But if you need if saves are a category, you need saves.
Yes,
and
you
if
do.
that's the closer, he's going to get saves. Holderman doesn't look good. I like Dennis Santana for Pittsburgh.
I think Mike Virginia agrees with you, too. That's his personal choice. I saw that in the Discord the other day.
What about Tommy Canale, your boy from Detroit, right? He got the save the other day. It ain't Bo Brisky. I'm sorry. It's just not – he's not doing it.
I benched him and I might drop him.
Old Yankees reliever, right?
I think he was a White Sox. He was a Yankee. Yeah, he's a guy they signed. He's been around. They got a 1 year, $7 million deal, though. That's a lot of money for the Tigers in the offseason to spend on a reliever. Also, remember last year, guys, it wasn't a fluke. Remember how the Tigers made the playoffs last year? All the mixing and matching, crazy bullpen openers, like starters. They only had 2 starters down the stretch. They were just relief pitcher mania, and they're still there. That same crew is there, and they want to win. So I think I may have missed. I don't want anything to do with Tigers bullpen, Britton. That's just my bottom line. But Conley's worth a flyer.
Yeah, he's worth a buck. I mean, why not? I think, like you said, like Detroit had a hot streak. They won some games. They got the same players. Riley Green hit another home run today. It looks like, he was a big prospect. Then he had these weird injuries, like he hurt his foot, like in an outfield sprinkler or something, and just all this weird stuff happened. But now he's back and he's hitting third for the Tigers. Looks great, having a great start to the season. We need, I'm a surrogate Tigers fan because of you, and we need Colt Keith. We need Colt Keith to turn it on. Come on, Colt Keith. Let's do this.
Well, they got an interesting situation. This is a deep cut, and maybe it's too homerific for some of you, but Justin Henry Malloy was called up this week because Gleyber Torres went on the DL. Used to be known as the DL. They call it the IL now.
IL, that's right.
I love the old DL. It was cool, but I respect it. We're moving on. We're progressing. We're growing. And Malloy is a guy who can get on base, and he's hitting leadoff when he's playing now. He's hit leadoff twice this week for the Tigers on opening day today as well. Yep. And I know there's platoon concerns here with Malloy, but if you play in OBP leagues, I think Malloy is an absolute speculative ad that you should give it a shot. Last guy on your bench. I've done it twice in 2 OBP leagues I'm in because I'm banking. Yes, I'm biased. I interviewed Justin Henry Malloy at AFL a couple years ago. I love the guy personally, but his bat is one of the better bats. It's worth being in the everyday lineup in this team eventually, and they're going to figure it out. So that's a deep cut ad. I like Malloy a lot.
Yeah, Malloy got recalled from the minors March 31st. He's made some starts at DH. He bat first. They put him 6th. They put him first. Yeah, he's in the mix. 25 years old. I like Harry Carpenter. They need to. Kerry Carpenter hit a home run off a lefty today. Like, just leave him alone.
Oh, I've heard this on a local show saying this. That's so funny you mentioned that because I totally agree with you. Carps, baby.
Get on the carpet bandwagon, baby. Kerry Carpenter, sign me up. Kerry Carpenter.
He's a hitter.
He's a gamer. He's I think one of their best players, maybe other than Riley.
He might be outside of Riley Green. He might be their best hitter for real, like pure hitter. Right?
I love this staff. Not to go all Tigers hour on everybody, but Scooble, Flaherty, Reese Olson, who I'm a big fan of, Casey Mize, first #1 overall pick from Auburn, and Jackson Jobe, who's got all the talent in the world. And then, today they brought Tyler Holton in the 6th inning. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It doesn't look like Tyler Holton is the closer. It looks like he's a mid guy. So it goes back to Tommy Canale. I think the Tigers are going to win games, and I think Canale is a great flyer to take for saves because, what show this early on in the year if we don't talk about random saves flyer guys, for at least 30 minutes because it's the same conversation every week. Random dudes that got one save. That's right.
Yay! I love random dudes who get one save. Star's dudes. Checking in. Mike, how's your brother? He's doing much better. Thank you so much, Star. Everybody's been so kind. He's doing much, much better than he was a week ago. He's off the ventilator and times are looking up. He might be out of the hospital in a few days, actually. So thank you so much for asking. Yeah, thank you. Everybody who's been, you guys, I love our community here, man. The Discord, everybody on the live show. You guys have been so kind to me, and I really want to say thank you for that. So thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate it. Alvarado has a save, says Mongelli. Topper is concerned with the amount of usage he's had the past few days. Topper? Is that a nickname for someone? I don't know that one. They'll be monitoring his usage. He's got the best stuff right now, and I trust him the most. I think we're pretty clear on that. We'll move forward. What about Harry? Harry Brooks. Are you related to Mr. Brooks from the Kevin Costner movie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Mel Brooks. I love Mel Brooks. Would you?
I never met a Harry I didn't like. I mean, that's a fact.
That is true, actually. I met one Harry.
Harry Potter. He's great.
Harry Potter, solid.
Save London.
Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah, Harry and the
Hendersons.
Hendersons.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, Sasquatch.
Harry Meets Sally, great rom-com. Harry Meets Sally, it's a classic rom-com.
Oh, that's a great movie. Yeah,
so that movie still holds up. That's a great movie. Bill Crystal, one of his best roles, actually. So, would you drop anyone? Oh, here we go. Well, Gavin Williams, I know we're not doing that. Jackson Jobe, not yet, can't do that. Rasmussen, or for Casey Mize, Myers, or Chase Dollander. Yeah, so we've had 2 call-ups here on Pitchers Britain today. We've had Chase Dollander, the Rockies is coming up, and Caden Dana of the Angels got the call right before we went on the air. So would you drop, we wouldn't drop Gavin Williams. We're not dropping Jobe. So would you drop Rasmussen of the Rays for Mize, Myers, or Dollander?
The only one I would consider adding for one of those drops is Casey Mize. I'm not adding Max Myers for the Marlins, and I'm not adding a rookie Colorado pitcher. Like you just got to let that play out. Rasmussen looked great his last time out. If you want to drop Jobe for Mize, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not drafting. Oh, excuse me. I'm not.
Don't do that. I'm against that. I just want to get on the record on that.
Okay.
I think because Mize has to prove to us that he can be out there enough. You're right, though. Jobe's a rookie, so he hasn't been out there throwing start after start for a few years. But Mize has shown us how much he's struggled with injuries time and time again. So I would love for him to be a regular on this staff, but I still need to see it with Mize.
Yeah, Chase Dollander, and don't get me wrong, go Vols. I love Dollander, but it's the odds of him being successful in that environment. It's like betting on a superfecta, not a trifecta. Like that's not it. I'm talking about a superfecta. Like good luck hitting that superfecta. I mean, it can hit, like people do, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, don't drop because Gavin Williams, Jobe, and Rasmussen, they're really good and they're established. Well, maybe not Joe, but yeah, but I would stick with those guys. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm not dropping Williams or Jobe. And Rasmussen, if he's healthy, he's kind of in the Mize category for me about health, but maybe that's a bit of a stretch. Also, we should mention Tobias Myers, the one name we haven't talked about in this commentary.
Oh, was that Tobias Myers? I thought it was Max Myers. Or
I think it's Tobias because I would assume that was my guess. You can clarify, Harry, who we love, but if it's Tobias Myers,
Harry.
He's throwing live BP. Harry. Oh, yes, it has.
Sorry, my friend.
Definitely is. But if he's throwing live BP, which Tobias Myers is doing, and it's only his oblique, then I did like what Myers did last year. I thought he had hurt his arm in spring training, but that's not the case. So I'm in. I'm interested. I'm monitoring Tobias Myers for sure. There's no doubt about that.
There you go.
Double dip from Harry real quick. Which closer you rather have, Alvarado, Doval, or Ryan Presley? No Presley. Me and Britton are both out on Presley.
I'd rather have Porter Hodge. Yeah, you got to go Alvarado. I think you got to go Alvarado.
I agree. Alvarado, Doval, Presley, but we don't want Presley at all. I'm done with him, and Britton's
don't
done
pick
with
up
him
Presley. There was a runner on second, a runner on third, and he was this close to blowing the save today. I know he got it, and you can say that about every closer, but it was an inch away from disaster.
No, here's a sad update for us because we're busy people. Doval came in the 6th today and gave up 3. Oh, they're unearned. Cool. Great. All right. Thank you. I'll take that. As long as they're unearned, who gives a shit?
Man, luckily I put my gambling account on hold because today I saw the Giants were starting Verlander and a rookie for the Mariners, Luis F. Castillo, not El Padre, Luis Castillo.
Weird.
Luis F. Castillo, same exact name except with an F. Like this pitcher didn't make a start in 2024 last year against Verlander, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I was like, ugh. I was like, ugh. I was like trying to think of a way to like wrap my mind like, oh God, I'm going to do this, aren't I?
I got an email from DraftKings. I'm glad you didn't do it. I got a DraftKings email.
I still get emails from DraftKings. They're like, Hey, Mr. Allen, my name is Joe Craig from DraftKings, and I wanted to see if you were interested in getting our VIP rewards.
Oh my God, that's the one I got. Yes.
I was like, look, leave me alone.
Come on, guys. No mas. I walked away. Leave me be. All right.
Leave me alone.
I got the same one. That's so funny. I passed it up as well, but I have to admit, for a split second, I was like, "Oh, what? Am I special?
I was like,
am I special gambler? Whoa!
They want to be nice to me.
This is like a real curated email.
Yeah.
It was probably AI.
100%. That's a robot.
Oh, yep. That was not a human being, even though they left a phone number. Thanks again, Eddie, for the good words. Great to have you here, my friend. Yeah, we got that one done. The only Harry I don't like is a Harry Bush. There it is. But I'm back. Well done. I can't believe I don't. Oh, I only got a shot. I don't have a. I can't believe I don't have that one. That's like really obvious. Eddie says I like Mize and Myers over Job at the moment. Okay, yeah, Job. I thought Britton loves shitting on the Seattle Mariners offense, and I do too. But Job was not able to get it done, and the Tigers. I was surprised. I thought Job would tear up Seattle on Monday. It didn't work out that way, but I'm not worried yet. Mize looked good against Seattle. Myers is pretty solid. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, is Trey Sweeney the real deal? More Detroit talk. All right. Michael Govier, I know that's your team. That's right. Trey Sweeney is a guy who was a prospect with the Dodgers. He came over to trade last year because Javi Baez is so bad at shortstop. But, Javi Baez is still on this team. So I like Trey Sweeney, but I don't think he's anything special. You might be able to ride him for a streak, like in head-to-head. But otherwise, Trey Sweeney has no value unless you're in like a 14-teamer or deeper.
Gunnar Henderson is back in the lineup today. Michael Govier, I don't know if you got that.
We never got to talk about this because life just flies by. So I ended up doing my main event draft and my OC, the only OC I did for the NFBC the next day. So in my main event draft, I had the last pick, 15th, right?
Yeah.
And that was when people were really freaking out about Gunnar. So he fell all the way to 15. So I took him. And now he's back tonight. So I'm feeling great about that. He only missed, 5 games? That's not so bad.
Nope. As Mike V told us, intercostal strain, not a rib injury.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. It's in your chest, right? And it hurts.
Yes.
So something's in there. But, young gentleman, and, here he is. Maybe it's just a blip on the radar. There's one league I'm in where I'm in dead last. It's a 12-team draft and hold league, and my first overall pick was Gunnar Henderson. So I know that now that Gunnar's back, it's going to lift my team up. This is a lifting motion for those listening.
Steve McNair tribute, best of peace. Steve McNair
up from the bottoms, the cellar. So let's go, Gunnar. Hit it.
Great job.
That's funny. Steve McNair. Man, I love Steve McNair. So sad how it did for him.
Go Titans. R.I.P. Man, that was a bad ending for whatever. Anyway, we don't need to get into that.
Oh man,
yeah, that's not a good thing to talk. Yeah, it's Friday night, baby. We're here to have fun. Yeah.
But Steve McNair I used to love playing with him on NFL 2K. I'm thinking about the fun times with Steve McNair when he was at his best. He could throw the ball a mile. You could not. Yeah, he was like a fullback who was a quarterback. It was amazing. Uncle Ted wants to know. We got to get you on the record, Britton, because when it comes to food, you're like our go-to guy here. Calzone or Stromboli?
I think it's a tie because let's be honest, it's the same thing. It's pizza folded. You know what I'm saying? It's bread, it's cheese, it's a protein, it's some type of Italian sausage. Like, what's the difference between a pizza, a calzone, and a stromboli? It's just something's folded one way or the other, right? It's like a stromboli is like a burrito, a calzone is a folded pizza, and a pizza is a pizza. But it's all the same thing, right?
Uncle, I agree. I'd never been able to. If you put both of them in front of me and didn't label them, I would not be able to tell the difference.
A hot pocket?
Yeah, they're both. That's what they both look like to me.
Yeah.
Uncle Ted says I need all the lift I can get after losing Profar and Cowser this week in my main. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry, Uncle Ted.
That's the breaks of the game, I mean, Profar. I will tell you this. I also did videos of the preseason where I gave you the guys who had the biggest jumps in hard hit rate last year, and Profar was at the top of that list. He had almost 10% jump in hard hit rate from 23 to 24. Now, he's had potential. We always knew Profar could play, but it didn't mean it was necessarily sustainable. And now that the PEDs have come out, you got to wonder, Britton, boy, makes you wonder about last season now.
Makes you wonder, too, when he signed that contract, did the Braves know? Because this didn't just happen. There's an appeals process, and I know the teams don't get to know that because of the agreement, the collective bargaining agreement. Like, they don't get to know like stuff like that. They can't drug test you before you sign that contract. They can't. Right. They're not allowed to. So, so he didn't tell him or his agent, hey, I tested positive during the summer or whenever it was last year, because this didn't just pop up. It's been going on for a while. There's been an appellate process, all that kind of stuff. So, the Braves, because that contract's guaranteed, and they're looking at him like, you
son of a bitch.
And of course the player is always like, I never would have taken that ringworm medicine if I had known there was banned substances in it. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's funny. He also he got 3 years for $43 million, right? So it's not like he got a monster deal.
Not the end of the world. Yeah.
I think that tells you something about it too. It tells me something about that the deal was that small, but you embarrass me, man. That's the Braves front office right now. All right, so cannoli, cannolis are good. I love cannolis, especially like pistachio cannolis. Those are pretty damn delicious. Uwe wants to know Victor Scott, Lars Nootbaar, who you guys were hyping up big last Sunday, and rightly so.
Oh yeah. Or
CJ Abrams in a point league. So clearly Victor Scott is third of these three in a points league, right?
Yes.
So it's got to be Nootbaar 1. Is Nootbaar 1 now over Abrams? Because I wasn't a huge Abrams guy, but I know he gets drafted higher preseason.
Yeah, Abrams hit a home run today, and that's great. But I think points, points I want Nootbaar because he's going to get the most plate appearances, and that's how you win points leagues, is by the most plate appearances. And on the flip side, with pitching, it's on the most innings pitched. Like that's how you win points leagues.
All right, hold on though. So let me pull this up because I didn't know this either, and it kind of goes right to your point. And I had no idea that this guy was on a tear. Look at this. He's hitting leadoff every day, Abrams. He's hit 3 home runs in the last 4 games.
Oh, there you go.
So
that
certainly makes things more interesting.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, if he's going to get 3 home runs in 4 games, just forget everything I said. That's
okay, but if all things being equal, they're both leadoff hitters, Lars Nootbaar and CJ Abrams, and let's say they're not hot. Let's say in 3 weeks from now, who do you think is producing at a higher level in a points league? Just if you had to guess.
I'm going to say Nootbaar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if did he say drop Abrams or because you can't not dropping these guys.
Yeah, Victor Scott's out of the picture.
He's so far removed from these two guys.
He's at the bottom of the order. He's not going to hit home runs. It doesn't help you in points league. But I'd be honest, UE, I did not realize it. I know CJ Abrams hit a home run today for the Nationals. I didn't realize he was on a heater. So I like I like the heaters.
Yeah, Jim Leland shout out right there, buddy. Jim Leland loved those heaters in the dugout. Shit for Pirates to his Tigers days. But if you're looking at a trade candidate here, that's kind of my guess because I don't assume that these would be drops. Maybe, Victor Scott could be an ad drop, but Nootbaar and Abrams should be rostered in points leagues. So if you'd rather have one or the other in a trade, I would say that I think I agree with Britton. I think Nootbaar's foundation, it has a little bit more there, and he could be more stable for you throughout the season with a better OBP and a little bit of a better batting average. But if you get more points for steals, because some points leagues, they bump up the points on steals depending which kind of league you're in. So check your scoring settings, of course. Star Platinum says, you can't hold on to a guy who's going to sit out for 80 games, and how good will he be when he comes back? Oh, yeah, I would completely drop Profar. I have no problem doing that if you had him. I don't care how deep the league is. Yep, there it is.
Got to cut him. And move on.
Call the local bris master. Get it done. What do they call that guy? Who's the guy that does the bris? The moil? That's what the Jews.
Yeah.
The Moyle, the classic Seinfeld episode with the angry
I was about
Moyle.
to say, the only reason I know what that is because of that Seinfeld episode. That's
Yes!
the only reason.
He's so pissed off. It's so funny. He's underpaid. That's a great episode. Actually, Britton, you win points leagues with more points than your opponent. Oh, thank you, Robbie.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Get it? Point.
Dynamite.
Excellent. Whatever. Yeah.
Abrams has the best opportunity if he stabilizes in that Washington lineup versus the St. Louis guys. Well,
Stabilizes.
I'm not willing to argue this point too much either way. I'm not. It's not like you got to go one way or the other here. So, Uncle Ted says,
if you have Lars Newbar and C.J. Abrams on your team, that's
win-win.
Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right. Woo!
Great job.
Would you drop a guy knowing he's on the juice? Knowing he's on the juice if he hadn't been busted?
How would I know he's on the juice?
Yeah, he'd have to be
I don't
busted,
see him
right?
do the juice. I mean, I'm not Snoop Dogg. It's not gin and juice time.
Juicy fruit, yeah. Grip, take a sniff, pull it out.
Yeah, no, I get it. I guess I think what Uncle Ted's trying to say is, if you think a player's cheating, do you have any moral reservations about starting someone that you're pretty sure is cheating?
No,
I don't.
No, neither do I. But if you find out he's juicing, then he probably gets busted. And I'm not. Now, last year's another example was Noelvin Marte. Remember, he got busted. Did you hold on to him at all? Do you remember if you played? I don't remember having any shares, so I didn't have to hold on to him.
Production was so terrible, it didn't matter. So you're like, juice or no juice, you don't have the numbers.
Yeah, in a 15-team, Uncle Ted says, yeah, I still would. I still think there's better options early enough in the season right now where you can find players to replace Profar with. It's your call, Ted, but I would drop Profar even in your main event or a 15-teamer. I would. That's what I'm going to do. Harry says, which catcher would you prefer? Oh, Hunter Goodman talk. Here we go.
Here we go. Go
rage.
Coors.
Yeah, Gabriel Moreno or Murphy, Sean Murphy. So I'll go Goodman, I guess, suddenly, because I didn't like Murphy in the first place. I wasn't a big fan of his. He's got a really low OBP, even when he plays too low. So if you play in an average league, maybe Murphy's a little more valuable. But I still think Adrian Del Castillo is the future on that team for Arizona, but he is on the IL in the minors right now. So Goodman's number one for me here, shockingly enough.
All right, so Hunter Goodman's on a heater. He's batting fourth. The Rockies have a 6-game homestead. So short term, I like Hunter Goodman the best out of these three. Gabriel Moreno has a great batting average, a great eye, and a great situation in that team. Sean Murphy is hurt, and but he's coming back. I get all that. But he's been hurt last year. He's hurt this year. He was hurt the year before. I hear you. But so, yeah. So for me, it's between Hunter Goodman and Moreno, and I want Hunter Goodman for the next 6 games, and then I want Moreno for the next 6 games after that.
That's what
Carpe diem.
Carp these nuts. That's right. All right, there it is. I agree for now. Though Goodman, we said Goodman had potential, so ride the hot hand, ride the lightning. That's what I say.
He's DHing, hitting fourth. He's got catcher eligibility, and even though it's freezing cold, as Mike Govier can attest to,
I can
it's
verify.
still Coors Field, baby.
I could take this computer out right now and show you guys how freezing it is today here. It's just like Michigan, but it's beautiful. As far as Wilmer Flores, you mentioned him a few times. I mean, aren't we very clearly, this is a classic guy who's hot to start the year, but come June, I mean, Wilmer Flores will be an afterthought because we've seen the track record.
Yeah, this is a classic. Just squeeze the juice, which I think that's what the CBS guys said, orange juice or whatever.
Yeah.
Squeeze the juice. Ride it while it's hot, and then drop him in a New York minute when Spencer Torkelson gets hot, or some other random or Ty France gets hot. It's all the same. Wilmer. Wilbur.
Wilbur. Yeah, Mr. Ed. That's right.
There you go. Man,
we're not that old, folks. We just know it because it was on reruns. That's all. So
Wilbur. That television show was about a talking horse. People, I'm not kidding. It was on television. It got greenlit. It was on every night.
We only know it because it was on reruns when we were kids. It was already 25 years old when we were born.
Yeah. Somebody who do you like? Green Acres, like somebody or the Beverly Hillbillies, like somebody went to the heads of the networks and said, "Hey, we're going to do a show about a talking horse," and they're like,
"Hell yeah,
sounds
Let's
great.
do it."
Let's
hey,
do it.
You know what we're going to do after that? We're going to do a show about an alien who lives with a suburban family.
That's right.
That's going to be great.
Season, just one season though. We'll see how it goes.
By the way, we had an old saying.
To be continued. Spoiler alert: not continued.
Oh man! But we did have our own saying on the show. CBS has theirs. We've been saying this one for a while. We just haven't had it out in a bit.
Always know if the juice is worth the squeeze.
There you go. Wilmer Flores, suck it till it's dry, but don't stay around too long where you got to serve it a week later when it's sour. Okay?
The Giants are hot. The Giants are hot.
No, I mean, Wilmer Flores does this too. He's a streaky guy. So you in head-to-head leagues, you ride him while he's hot, and then you move on. You can ride him in any type of league, really, but he's not a long-term solution.
This is what's fun. Like the first league I was ever in was a 10-team ESPN fast finger league. Like no waivers, nothing. Just churn and burn.
Who's up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. And I would watch an episode of True Detective the first season while I'm making my whoever happened to hit a home run the day before. So I get it.
2014?
Yeah, churn and burn.
Oh, I love that show. It was so good. I remember watching the first season. It was a religious experience. It was an awesome show.
That was a great first season.
So good. Uwe says, would you drop any of these guys? W. Contreras? Come on. You got to give us which one. You guys know there's 2 W. Contrerases that matter in fantasy. They're all catchers, it seems, though, so maybe it's Wilson. But also it's William. It could be Williams. Okay, I don't know.
Well, you're not dropping either one.
No. You're not dropping Sal Perez. You're not dropping Contreras. You're not dropping Ivan Herrera, who's on a tear, hit another home run today. 3 home runs
in baseball, right?
Yep. See, my only concern, though, is I liked Herrera a lot this year, but they were really strong on having Pedro Pajes play. And Pedro Pajes has played, and he's had some – he's a really good defensive catcher, too. So you can't just – I still think it's going to be a bit of a battle, but if Herrera keeps tearing it up, he'll get more at-bats.
Herrera's been on fire. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
For the time being.
So Contreras, Perez, or Ivan Herrera for Nootbaar or Abrams? Oh, would I drop one of those for Nootbaar or Abrams?
Wait a minute.
Hold up. Yeah, I thought it was a trade or something.
Yeah, hang on. Let's talk about this.
Nate Dogg tribute. Hold up.
Yes, I think I would do that, sir.
Yeah.
So I can have Abrams or Nootbaar for a catcher.
Seems like a no-brainer.
I don't know. I'd probably CJ Abrams.
For sure.
Yeah.
You got to do Abrams, and you consider Nootbaar for only because of Herrera's playing time. I'd rather have Nootbaar than Herrera because of playing time only. Right?
That's a great question. Long story short, but
that is.
I can't. You can't let go of Sal Perez just because of the track record.
It's a one-catcher league too. He says so.
Oh well. Yeah. So you have 2 catchers. Your one's on the bench.
Do you have all 3 of these guys? Is that what you're saying? You have 3 catchers in a one-catcher league? Because you should never, this is one thing I know. I know I screwed up on Anthony Richardson last year, but I'm right about this. If you play in a one-catcher league, never roster 3 catchers. I don't care how good they all are.
I don't think he's rostering. I think a lot of these questions are just, theoretical, debate.
What, the thought experiments?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, let's say if you had $200 in this hand and you had a speeding ticket in this hand, which do you care about?
We're doing problem solving, problem solving. I'm in 8th grade again. That's why I feel like I'm in math class. Right. Also, Star Platinum mentions I used to watch the Munsters and Mr. Ed when I was a kid. Okay, look at Britton. You connected with the audience of Mr. Ed. That is genius.
I've never seen an episode of the Munsters. Is that the one with the judge from My Cousin Vinny? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Fred Gwynn. Gwynn. That's right.
Fred Gwynn is awesome.
What a face. Face on that
great
guy.
Actor. Love Fred.
A huge head. That's a big. When he's in My Cousin Vinny at the end of his life, that head is just monstrous. But it's impressive.
He was great in that movie.
He was great in that movie. I agree. That's an underrated film. You don't hear much about My Cousin Vinny. It was funny. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one.
What do you mean? Marissa Tomei won an Academy Award for her.
I know. But Yeah, I never see My Cousin Vinny streaming anywhere. I just don't hear much about it other than that factoid.
It's a bunch of haters, man.
Okay, screw you, My Cousin Vizzy haters, all right?
Yeah, they don't like the Karate Kid actor, so they get all uppity about stuff.
Wait, come on, you know his name.
Yes, I do. It's Karate Kid.
He's got this. Don't worry, folks. I know he does.
It's Marciano.
Ooh, close. Close. Yeah, you're so close. You're so close.
God, I can picture him. Marciano. Macchio. Oh my God.
There you go. You were that close though. You really were. Ralph Macchio. There it is.
Oh, Ralph. Yeah. What? Yeah. No, I've never looked at Ralph.
Really?
I don't think people are named Ralph. I just know.
Eddie says you can roster 3 catchers if you plan to use one in a trade. Okay, but is that the only reason you're rostering 3 of them? I mean, I'd like to use the guys on my team. But if I see it, you look at big picture. I respect it. I'm not against it. Star says
Alvarado at first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. And if that's Wilson Contreras, he's also playing first. So check out the Munsters and Mr. Ed trying out for the Dodgers. Herman Munster knocking down the scoreboard with a home run. This is a real episode? Oh, my God. Okay. I'm going to have to find this clip and play it on the show sometime.
Mr. Ed trying out for the Dodgers.
The Munsters and Mr. Ed.
Yikes. I'm not sure I want to see that. Hey, guys, I'm not sure I want to see that.
I can't believe this came full circle on baseball. That is so funny. Joe Pesci is elite. Most underrated role was Home Alone 1. Yeah, he's great in Home Alone 1, no doubt. Okay, everyone's trying to freak me out about Matt McLain. Scratch with the hamstring. All right, let's relax. He's tearing the cover off the ball, so he's obviously hitting, which is good. We'll see. Relax. Don't freak out just yet. Hey,
a lot of the Reds got scratched. Are you sure it's a hamstring? Because a lot of them got scratched for an undisclosed illness. And like Terry Francona isn't in the dugout tonight for the Reds against the Brewers because apparently a bunch of players and staff and everybody reported sick. So I'll have to look at the lineup. But
it does say that technically. It does say scratch with a left hamstring tightness.
It does say that? Okay.
Whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's interesting you mentioned that too. But I don't know why they'd say hamstring if it was illness.
Yeah, they said
because we all know
Francona can't be in the dugout tonight because of the illness that's gone through the Reds. And they're at the Brewers, right? So, who knows?
The Reds, you see that this week? They lost 3 straight games, 1-0.
1-0. Yeah, never happened before.
65 years ago it happened. I didn't look it up, but I saw it. First time it's happened in 65 years.
I saw one stat. It was like 28 innings, 0 runs. It's like, oh, that's tough.
That sucks because
I know Hunter Green's throwing gas, and
he is. Yeah, he looked good.
Hey guys, I just need 1 run. Like, I'd like more, but I can't win with 0. I can't. It's
Brady Singer went 7 strong, struck out 8. He dominated, and he took the losses, or he didn't work out for him. Brady Singer, by the way, I'm still not buying that start. I want to see more. I actually prefer. I did this in my 14-team head-to-head. I dropped Brady Singer, and I added Chris Bubic. I just like Bubic in the Royals stadium, their ballpark. I like their team concept a bit more than Brady Singer in Cincinnati. I really do. So, take it or leave it.
Yeah, so Kevin Hastings, shout out Kevin Hastings and Pitcher List.
Oh, my guy.
He was telling me, and he drafted Brady Singer in that the draft we did, and we talked about it because Brady Singer came from the Kansas City Royals, and he said the park for Cincinnati is actually perfect for him, the way he pitches, and he told me all the reasons, and all those reasons seem to be 100% true because when Brady Singer pitches in Cincinnati, it's awesome. So, so you may want to try to get Singer back. not that there's anything wrong with Bubic. I think Bubic is awesome. I think he's a great pitcher. He's a wonderful pitcher to pick up. But
I loved Singer last year. He was like pick 400 last year. Afterthought, had a really nice season, but I will back that up. What you're saying,
it's counterintuitive because Kansas City, huge ballpark, Cincinnati, small ballpark. But Kevin had all this analysis, and of course, I'm like, oh, so the studies show Like that's like the thing you say. Oh, so that's what your studies
Get your tweed
said.
jacket on. That's right.
Yeah,
Get your elbow patches out. There you go.
Yeah, well, have you read the studies? I'm like, what?
Another friend of the show.
What do you? Well, I have, but what do you think they say?
What do you think? Yeah, what are you thinking about this? Another friend of the show, Marty Tallman, our boy, he was saying the exact same thing to me on Pallazzo when we were on the panel together, that Brady Singer was a ground ball pitcher and that Cincinnati's park would be perfect for him. So clearly, two great minds think alike. Kevin Hastings and Marty Tallman, two guys you guys should all be following and checking out their stuff. Please. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't like to reinvent the wheel here. We like to take information and then act like it's ours and then disseminate it accordingly. And if it works out, take credit. If not, ignore it. That's
everybody's stealing from everybody. We know how it goes around here. That's what teachers steal from teachers. This is how it works, Directors steal from directors. You ever seen Swingers? Remember that? They're talking about stealing the best director scenes, and then they steal the very next scene from the slow-mo shot from Reservoir Dogs.
And they not steal. I mean, they give credit where credit's due, but
right,
the shot of them going into, what's it called?
Oh, yeah.
It's the long shot that Scorsese did
from Goodfellas with the Copacabana.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They go through the kitchen and all that.
Yeah. Good call. You're right. Uncle Ted says Luzardo's dealing again tonight. I got to tell you, Britton, I have a few shares and I already feel like I wish I had more. I think Luzardo's going to have a great year. I don't think it's a fluke. You talk about Wilmer Flores just being hot. This is different.
Out.
Yeah. I understand it, but he was cheap enough to take a shot this year because he was going so late. But as long as he stays healthy, we know he can pitch, right? It's just a matter of health with him. So
it's paying off. He looks great. So
he does.
Playing for the Phillies. The Phillies are off to like their fourth best start in franchise history. So yeah, Schwarber's in a contract year. I love the narrative contract years. So Schwarber is one of the hottest hitters in baseball. So I like the Phillies. They were my World Series pick.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember. We did the preseason show, and we all did our picks.
Yeah, I didn't get to be a part of it, but I'm so glad you picked the
right.
Phillies.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
no, it's okay. It's okay. You picked the Phils.
I picked the Phillies, and who was my American League? I don't remember.
The A's.
No, the Blue Jays. That's who it was.
Wow! I love
Kevin
loves to have fun.
Going to bounce back and win that. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. But what we do want to remember is my Phillies pick, because that was awesome.
There you go. Uncle Ted says Harper NL MVP. All right, 2 more comments. We're going to hit the road, folks. We got an hour out of us, which is great. I didn't think the internet would hold up, but I guess it's been okay. Skywalker says, in a points league, would rather have a third closer. Jesus, so much Alvarado talk on this show today. In a starting lineup or an extra starting pitcher like Mize in a 10-team league. So this is a strategy question. In a 10-team league, points league, would you rather have an extra reliever like Alvarado or a starter like Mize? I'd rather have the starter if it's points league, I think. Especially if you get points for innings pitched.
Well, I would always rather have the starting pitcher, because in a points league, wins count. You're not going to get that with Alvarado. And you're going to get more strikeouts with Casey Mize. I think, right?
Yeah. Yep, you're right. And usually points leagues favor starters. So I'd be shocked if you wouldn't get more out of Mize or any starter than a reliever. That's
why you want to start pitchers. No matter how good or bad they are, it doesn't matter. They're going to get more. It's more than likely than not they're going to get more points than a one-start pitcher, and it's probably going to happen that they're going to get a lot more points than a one-start pitcher. So
unless it's Luis F. Ortiz. So yeah, I'm stuck with that this week in a lineup that's already set. 7 earned runs on Tuesday against the Padres. Woohoo! Yay! The problem with stealing in this business of yours, says Eddie, is that other podcasters can't steal the Pallazzo Crew's personalities. That's right, my man. Woohoo! Other podcasters lull me to sleep with their monotone voices. Well, hey, look, we appreciate Eddie.
Thank you for
sweet.
The compliment. We appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
That's right, man. Yeah. Skywalker says Jack Leiter to the IL. Uh-oh. Okay, well, you can cancel all the things we said about Leiter earlier. And, that'll be the show for tonight.
Schwellenbach was my other pick I was looking at. I went through that thing where I'm like, oh, I have to gamble. you know, in my DraftKings, like some bot is emailing me, and I'm like, I was like, oh, the two locks of the day are the Giants with Verlander against the Mariners and Schwellenbach, like over 6 strikeouts. And thank goodness I didn't bet on any of it. So,
by the way, our Discord is free, and we got our boy in there, Thud. Every day, Thud is posting betting victories. If you really love betting, he really is awesome. He gives you over-unders on pitching totals, K totals, things like that, and he never tries to lead you astray. He doesn't give you the most tastiest odds. He tries to give you winners. And it's totally free, so check that out in our Discord, which is in the description of this show, whether you're on the podcast feed or the YouTube version, Britton.
And he's on a roll, too. So
he's eating up?
So come check it out to the Discord. I look at it every single day. I try not to bet on it. I'm enticed.
Until Donnie from DraftKings emails you and says, "Dear Britton, you are a favored exclusive customer right now. We're going to give you $1,000 if you can deposit $5,000 first."
I was like, oh, I'm your favorite customer? Oh, gosh. Donnie, you're making me blush.
That's right. Eddie says, Britton, see you in VA on Sunday. I don't know if Mike will be back for the Sunday show. He said it might be a weekend. We'll have to double check on that. I'm happy to sit in on Sunday, too, now that things are getting easier. So either way, Britton sometimes goes solo on Sundays. We will be here Sunday at 1 o'clock, right?
1 p.m., 1 Eastern, noon Central. Rain, shine, or whatever, we're having a Fab show, so please come and check it out. Exclusive on YouTube, so if you're not into YouTube, just for this show, just come on in and say hello. It's free, doesn't charge you anything. You come in, subscribe, and you get you get, because I'm in, I don't know, like 3 Fab leagues, and I've already done some waterfall bids of players that I'm looking at. So come on in, and we're going to talk about it.
Hell yeah, dude. Great job. And I'm glad you said that, too. Yeah, the Sunday show is exclusive to the YouTube. So that chat is a YouTube exclusive opportunity to come in and just talk in the chat more than any other show of the week. They try to be as interactive and informative for sure. 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday. Eddie says, Utah, give me 2.
Utah, give me 2.
You got it, brother. We got to turn it over now to our main man. Thank you so much, Britton Allen, Michael Govier. Britton, who we turning it over to, my man?
Our favorite captain, Captain Jack Aubrey from His Majesty's Service. Shout out, England.
All right. Shout out, England. Thank you.
Right, lads. Now, I know there's not a faint heart among you. And I know you're as anxious as I am to get into close action. But we must bring him right up beside us before we spring this trap. That will test our nerve. And discipline will count just as much as courage. The Acheron is a tough nut to crack. More than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers. And they will sell their lives dearly. They mean to take us as a prize. And we are worth more to them undamaged. Their greed will be their downfall. England is under threat of invasion. And though we be on the far side of the world, this ship is our home. This ship is England. So it's every hand to his rope or gun, quick's the word and sharp's the action. After all, surprise is on our side.